Hi everyone, I hope you all are great. Today we will have adjectives that compare. First, you have to log in using the eplusstudent.com. Click on your name, move on to language, add the grade 5. Chapter is adjectives that compare. Lesson will be use adjectives to compare. Use adjectives with more and most. Alright, so you can use some adjectives to compare people, places, or things. Okay, so you use some adjective to compare all this. Now, comparative adjective compare two people, place, or thing, and they end with er. Okay, so the comparative adjective they compare between two people, two places, two things, and usually they end with er, just like smaller, taller, greater, like this. All these are comparative adjective. So he is taller than his sister. Okay, then superlative adjective compare more than two persons. Okay, so more than two people, places, or thing. So the superlative compare between more than two. They end with est. Okay, just like we have tallest, smallest, okay, greatest. All these are the superlative adjectives. Okay, so we have he is the tallest person in his class. All right. So you just need to take note of the adjectives that compare. So let's look at some examples. Compare, okay, complete the sentence with the correct form of the adjective. Do you think that Shakespeare was the dash of all writers? Of all writer, is it going to be what? So we have greatest, right? Then Sleepyhead Inn has the dash sheets of all the hotels in Sparrow Town. So is it gonna be what? Softest, okay? So if it's comparing like a larger group, you use the superlative, and if it's just between two, is the comparative. Now, Kathleen sells the dash carrots in the whole city of Kingwood. So what? Freshest, okay? Because it's like a larger group. All right. So let's go to the test. Share your answers with me. Okay. So complete the sentence with the correct form of the adjective. Do you think that Shakespeare was the dash of all writers, greater or greatest? All right, so we have greatest. So when Gabby was in the hospital, nurse Mark G was a lot dash than Dr. Moore. Kinda or kindest? All right, so we have kinda. So that statue is the dash piece of art in the whole museum. Is it grandest or grander? So grandest. Sleepyhead Inn has the dash sheets of all the hotels in Sparrow Town. Softest or softer? Okay, so softest. So in the movie, the astronaut said that the distant planet was dash than Earth, warmer or warmest. So warmest or warmer. So warmer than Earth, okay? Did you think that Mrs. Alvarado's nephew was the dash dancer in the whole dancing contest? Stronger or strongest? So what do we have here? So we have strongest, okay? So the cover crayon is the dash one left in the box, shorter or shortest? So shortest, okay? Lemons and oranges are both citrus fruits, but lemons taste dash than oranges. Sourest or sourer? Okay, so we have the second one. So next up, we have the poppy seed dressing is the dash of the four dresses in the refrigerator. Sweeter or sweetest? So sweetest, okay? All right, that's it for this lesson. We'll move on to the next one. So complete this one if you haven't done it, okay? All right, so we know that we can use adjectives to compare people, places, or things, right? Now, comparative adjective compare two persons, places, or things, and they usually end with er, okay? And superlative adjective compare two people, more than two people, places, or thing, and they end with est, okay? So for most one syllable adjective and for two syllable adjective that end in y, the comparative the comparative adjective ends in er and the superlative ends in est, okay? Now the base, we have base, comparative, and superlative. So we have tall, taller, tallest. That is for like one syllable word and two syllable words, okay? And then for most adjective with more than one syllable, if it has more than one syllable, add more to make comparative adjective and most to make the superlative adjective. All right. So we have intelligent, then more intelligent, and most intelligent. So if it is more than one or two syllables, then you have to make sure that you add more or most for the comparative and superlative. So let's see some examples. We have So complete the sentence with the correct comparative or superlative adjective. The Ramsing family's enormous house was the dash, the grand one in the city. So is it gonna be grander or grandest? So it's gonna be grandest, okay? The new math teacher for our class is kind than the old one. So kinder is just comparing between one person to another. So just two. News about the parade is important than the news about the giant pumpkin. So, which of them more important? Okay. All right, let's move to the test. You can share your answers if you know them. Okay, so complete the sentence with the correct comparative or superlative adjective. To Nicole, knitting is an interesting hobby than stamp collecting. First, second, or third. So more interesting hobby. Okay. The new math teacher for our class is kind than the old one. First, second, or third.